How you doing today, John?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to have you on the show. Very excited to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, and very excited to learn more about you and Cizzle Brands. And why don't you tell me a little bit about some of this news that came out today? Because I thought that was pretty big news, and we just talked about that live on the show.
Yeah, so we've launched our supplement line today, Spoken Nutrition. So 13 SKUs, 11 products made by the top dietitians, nutritionists, strength coaches in North American pro sport. They traveled the world working with various teams, athletes, coming up with these formulas. Tried it on the best, literally the best athletes in the world. I can't name them all because some of them are endorsed by other companies. I don't want to get anybody in trouble today, but very exciting. And not only is it another revenue stream for our house of brands, but really what it does is it acts as an R&D pillar, right? I mean, if you look back to the origins of the sports nutrition industry, I mean, take protein as an example, right? Back in the day, protein was for bodybuilders, maybe had something to do with steroids or something like that. People were kind of scared of it. Now it's a commodity, right? You look at greens, who is greens for? Maybe Popeye the Sailor Man. But, obviously with AG1, there was that phenomenon there. So we have a couple products in that portfolio that really have a chance to go mainstream in a major way. In particular, the products that I want to highlight are our Sleep Builder and our Sports Greens products that are absolute best in class.
Obviously very excited to have you on the show today. And you guys just went public on the Cboe under the symbol CZZL. And in your most recent news, which we just talked about, the company is doing 5 million in sales in the first 4 months. Congratulations, by the way, on that. Can you tell the investors watching today what this means for a company your size?
What it really means, what it really means is that the product's turning like crazy. So, our management team's been in this industry 15 plus years, and if you've been good to people over a course of time and you have the right relationships, you're going to get some shelf space. But what this is saying is that in the finite amount of retailers that we're in right now, the product is really turning. And then what you do with that is you take that data and you bring it to the bigger retailers, and that's how you earn your shelf space. So for the finite amount of doors that we've selected to launch our brands, the product is turning and the consumers are really catching on, and the repeat orders is actually the most promising.
Congratulations on all of your success, and we love hearing about repeat orders. And I've actually tasted some samples, and I was very impressed, and I've handed them out to other people. Everybody liked it. I liked it. I thought it was a very good product. Is this a product that you personally drink yourself? Do you hand it out to friends and family?
Oh yeah.
Is this a product that you really believe in, John?
Practice what you preach, for sure. I mean, my fridge at home is stocked with Quench, whether it's myself,
Nice.
my wife, my 9-year-old, my 7-year-old, my 5-year-old. Even my grandparents, right? Hydration is not just for athletes. It's, stay properly hydrated to fight the common cold, right? At the end of the day, we could all be drinking more, and it's a premium sports drink product with best in class bioavailability and electrolytes.
Now, one of the things that really impressed me is the amount of star power involved in this product. You guys have and I'm a huge sports fan. You guys got orders from the NHL, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and NCAA. Those are the biggest sports in North America, in the world. So to land deals with these big names, people must really love your product. What kind of doors do you think these relationships will open for Cizzle Brands?
It's all part of the story, right? So again, been at it 15 years plus. Those initial forays into those locker rooms, that comes with trust, right? So when we give those people a call and say, hey, we've got some products that you absolutely got to try, they're all open to it. And then from there, it's just telling that story, right? Obviously, rub elbows, rub shoulders with the right people. It's going to wind up in the right places. So we tell those stories. Obviously, as mainstream, I'm a mainstream consumer of products as well. We gravitate towards those aspirational brands. And when it's tried and tested and true by people that perform on that stage of that magnitude, it's that extra little push to give it a try. And then to your point, product tastes great, all natural. That's how we're winning people over and opening up new retail shelves by the day.
Now, another thing that's really impressed me about Cizzle Brands is the star power involved. Can you talk a little bit about some of your celebrity athlete and ambassadors that are part of this company, and how are they involved? Because I see Andrew Wiggins, Nathan McKinnon, like these are big names in the NBA and the NHL. Can you talk a little bit about some of your ambassadors and what role they're going to be playing with the company?
For sure. So Andrew Wiggins, Andrew and I have had a friendship, business relationship since before he was drafted into the NBA. So he was an athlete that we endorsed in our previous business life, and he's someone that's actually invested in the business as well. So Andrew's an investor in the business. He checks in daily. He was actually in Toronto, where our head office is, last night playing against the Raptors. So he's just a friend of the family, a close business associate. So that's Andrew. Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon has been trained by Andy O'Brien, who's our chief performance officer, since he was a teenager. So Nate was a part of the making of all our products, trying it, testing it. He's fanatic about what he puts into his body. So he not only is he vested in the business as a partner, but he was also part of the creation of the product. So when you have that type of authenticity, others want to be a part of it as well. So that's attracted in a bunch of the other stars.
It's very exciting to see that Andrew Wiggins is actually invested into this product. I didn't know that. It's great to see that. It's
Not
always
a
nice to
check,
see.
and not a small one either.
These NBA players make big money, so I didn't expect it to be a small investment. Some of these guys are making, 20, 30, 40, 50 million a year. So I assume that he made a large contribution. So that's good to see that he's actually got some skin in the game. And one of the things that is really exciting is that there's a lot of stuff out there. We don't really know what we're putting in our bodies, right? So made with all natural ingredients, with no sugar and 6+ electrolytes, how does Quench compare to other sports drinks in the market currently? We all know about Prime, Logan Paul, KSI involved. They've done a great job branding the product, but it's out there. Everyone's talking about it. They've got big names also carrying the product as well, big sports franchises as well. So how do you plan on grabbing more of the market share from products like Prime?
First and foremost, you got to build a great product, a product that's built to last, right? So
Yes.
Prime's market share is dropping by the minute. It was a YouTube phenomenon for sure. They did an incredible job marketing it. But once mom and dad figured out what their kids were consuming, down goes Prime. When we built our products, we built them to last. We built them best in class. An electrolyte is not an electrolyte. I'm trying to simplify it here. So salt is not salt, right? So when you look at our product, sodium, our key electrolyte, it's Celtic sea salt, right? So when you're looking at all these different ingredients, you're looking for bioavailability, stuff that's actually going to work in your body and stuff that's actually good for you for the long term. So we built our product to last, and the more educated people get, the better it is for us.
Now, one of the things that I'm trying to understand is Gatorade uses artificial food dyes to give its bright colors, including red number 40, also known as Allura Red, blue number 1, also known as Brilliant Blue FCF, and also known as another product called Tartrazine. How are you guys able to compete without using all of these artificial flavors?
If you go that extra mile, natural flavors, stevia leaf, it's plenty to sweeten a product naturally. Being in a Tetra Pak, it gives you 2 years shelf life, and sugars, food dye, all that aside, a big difference is that we're not in a PET bottle. I don't expect many people have done this, but I have. If you ever walk into a place where PET is being produced, so plastic water bottles, it smells disgusting. It smells like burning tires, right? And there's a lot of research out there on microplastics and what's actually going into our body. So from our packaging to our efficacy of the product to the natural natures of our products, we're built to last. We're built to better people's lives, longevity, and kick the crap off the shelves.
I like that. I like that. And, I have 2 athlete children, teenagers that are in sports. And this is a product that I'd feel comfortable to give them. My son plays soccer, my daughter does gymnastics, and they're always drinking the Gatorade and they're always drinking the Prime. And I always ask my kids, I'm like, why do you drink Prime? And it's like, oh, well, Logan Paul's talking about it. I'm like, yeah, but is it healthy? And they just think because it's on the shelves that it's naturally healthy, but that's obviously not the case. So it's interesting to know that you guys are going more for the health, and that's something that as a parent I'm more concerned about than marketing. So congratulations on doing it the right way. Now, Quench is currently, this is very impressive. Quench is currently available in over 1,200 points of sale in Canada, the United States, and Europe already, including major retail chains as well as hundreds of independent sporting goods retailers. What do you see on the horizon for the company?
Yeah, that's nothing, to be honest. That's just the start. We've kept it very finite, been very picky about who's retailing the product. Now that we have that data with that select group of retailers, we're going to look to take the product more mass, right? So in North America, when we look at it, there's about 154,000 accounts that really appeal to us that we plan on securing in the next 3 years. But it's all on how you build it, right? You don't want to talk to empty shelves, and you want to have the sales velocity when you get it in the marketing in place when you get onto these shelves, because there's nothing worse than getting a bunch of listings and you can't move any product.
So, John, our community of investors is all over the world, and they're retail investors, and they're always looking for opportunities to make money in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So, you are now listed in Canada. Do you have any idea or any plans to get listed in America? Because I know a lot of our
Yep.
audience is in America. They're going to be interested to hear when potentially there would be a US listing. And is there also interest in getting listed in Frankfurt, Germany? Because we have a lot of European investors, a lot of German investors that are looking to potentially get involved in different deals like yours. So do you have any plans on getting listed in Frankfurt? And if so, when?
Very soon. One of the advantages on being on the Cboe is a senior exchange that allows us to list internationally. So Frankfurt is definitely on the list. The US, it's actually happening in the room one over from me as we speak. So a matter of days, weeks there for sure. People will be able to purchase stock.
All right, that's exciting. So if you're in America or you're in Frankfurt, Germany, or you're in Europe, you will have the ability to purchase Cizzle brand shares in your local market very, very soon. And we'll keep you updated here on Rich TV Live about all of those happenings as they happen. And another question I was wondering is, how did you guys come up with the name? I thought it's a nice name. It's catchy. So is there a story there? Like, how did you guys come up with that?
Yeah. Anthony Mila, our CMO, and I were watching sports in our backyard. We live close to each other. We knew we were going to take on this venture, and we have a lot of experience in the industry. So, we wanted something that was kind of self-explanatory in regards to the name, but unique in the same space. So that's where the unique spelling comes from. In the beginning, Quench had a meaning: clean, well-made, eco-friendly, nutritious, cool hydration. But he kind of pushed me away from that. He said, "John, people get it. Quench with the C, right?" So that was kind of the making of the name. Just a couple of us chatting in the backyard, and we also have, from previous experience, seen quite a number of insight studies in regards to making of these brands, the colors that are associated with them, so on and so forth. So a little bit of data and a little bit of gut feel, and some good focus groups, and away we went.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Quench your thirst. I like it. So for people who are learning about Quench today for the first time, what would you say is the best way for them to get in contact with you or the company if they have any questions about investing, or just any questions about buying the product, or just getting involved with the company in some capacity?
Yeah, quenchhydration.com would be best. You can easily contact our info line. We have a couple people there just responding to folks all day long, and they can guide whatever the question is. They can guide you to the right department of the company pretty quickly.
Fantastic. John, thank you for joining us today here on the Rich TV Live podcast. If there's anything else that you'd like to let the audience know today before we say goodbye, what would it be?
We're making best-in-class products. We're not afraid of charging a penny more for them. And the growth opportunity for this space is tremendous as people become smarter and smarter every day. I mean, not just our generation, but the kids as well. Gen Alpha has really adopted these brands, and we're going to keep growing that.
Super excited to see you guys move forward with your business plan and execute your strategy. Congratulations on all of your success so far. John Celenza, the CEO of Cizzle Brands and Quench Hydration. Thank you for joining us today, John.
Thanks for having me. That was fun. Look forward to being back.
Always a pleasure. The CEO of Cizzle Brands, and the product you need to know is named Quench Hydration. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to either myself or John directly, or you can go to their website, which we've shown you guys as well. John, thank you for joining us today. Continue with all your hard work and success, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.